This is how I make and struggle with crispy rice with spicy tuna. This rice is from leftover dinner. I take it out. I meant to record it, but you take it out, you kind of flatten press it, and you let it sit in the fridge overnight with saran wrap. I've seen everyone do it this way. You could kind of press it down too. The rice is always the struggle for me. I make this every year, and then I remember how bad I am at making it. So you guys it turns out okay, and I like it, and I eat it. But you guys are going to watch why I struggle and fail with this. But the rice you got to do the night before. I forgot to film it, but you want to just let it sit in the fridge and kind of form. Next, we're going to make the actual spicy tuna. This is the tuna I'm using. Also, side note, you guys made it very clear that you're not into giveaways. Lost subscribers from that post yesterday. So last time that's going to happen. But take your tuna. You're going to take it into just little kind of cubes, whatever way you can. It doesn't really matter. You're going to try to mince this and make the bites as small as possible. So just chop it up however you like. This is tuna belly. I had it in the freezer for a little bit just to help me cut it and then just mince it up, make small pieces, bite-sized pieces, whatever you feel is the best. Some people like to go real small and make it almost like a paste. I'm not into that mouthfeel for it, but do whatever you'd like. I do leave some pieces here a little bit larger because I feel like that works a little better, but just have a variety, a little bit of a mix, and do it that way. I'm only making it for 2 people also, so I'm not going to use this entire piece of fish, but that's about all I'm really going to need. That's probably going to make 8 to 10 good-sized pieces of crispy rice. So just handle it that way and you're good to go. Also, definitely wash your board right away. The oils in the fish I've found really sometimes can ruin plastic cutting boards, so be prepared to just lose it potentially. We're then going to dice up some green onion, mix into it, also use it as a garnish on the side. So just have enough that you could use both. You also can completely omit this and add whatever other ingredients you like. It's totally, your crispy rice experience can be tailored to however you enjoy it. Add and subtract things to this at your leisure. Once you do that, I'm also going to add, barely a teaspoon's worth of sesame oil. We're going to add the same amount of soy sauce. You could omit the soy sauce. I like the balance it gives it. Then the main mix here is Kewpie mayo and sriracha. Add as little as you want for spice level. Try to balance out with the mayo and you'll be okay. And then give it a good mix. You want to see it fairly cohesively together, but you don't want it to be wet and loose. You want to have it as a solid. This isn't an egg salad or something that a ton of mayo really works in. Have a nice balance here and still be able to enjoy the flavor of the fish. Give it a taste. Mine is a little too sriracha forward, so I'm going to add just a touch more mayo just to kind of balance it out, but still while trying to keep it under the too mayo-y level. At that point, we're going to just struggle with the rice. I've never figured out the best way to cook the rice. It either dries out too much or it gets too wet and explodes in the pan. Everyone give me suggestions, rip me apart. It's never worked out well for me. But try to come and cut it into just, edible pieces, fairly bite-sized, but they can be fairly larger. Some people like theirs to be 2 bites. But you could say even just as I'm cutting it here, it's breaking. I try to salvage as much as I can and get decent-sized pieces that'll fry up nicely, but it's always just a struggle. This is why I always wind up just going out and ordering it. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I love this recipe, but I just don't cook it well, as you can see. I like to dip mine in a little bit of cornstarch, and I've seen people do that online also. Just remember, using the cornstarch is going to yield a less golden brown color, but it'll still be deep fried. So you just have to know that they're not going to look crispy, but they are. In the pot also, we're going for around a 350 degree temperature in here, but just enough to deep fry. You want to keep them separated and not sticking. That color there, that's as dark as it's going to get. These are also a little bit even over crispy. I like them that way. You can take them out earlier. That was in there for about 4 minutes. They were small. Bigger ones will have to cook for longer. Grab yourself a nice Japanese style restaurant plate. I like to put you can make it look fancy. You don't have to do this. It's absolutely just for YouTube. I wouldn't do this if I was just eating on my own. Need to be transparent about that. I did a terrible job also showing how I put it on, but just grab a spoon. You could even use 2 spoons. I'm also wearing the glove because I had cut my hand. I didn't want to keep washing a Band-Aid with the fish, so that's why I should have mentioned that earlier. I know it looks weird. But keep just putting down little bits onto each one. You don't want it to be falling off, but with the right amount of sauce in there, it'll stick together. It'll bind well. Then just top it with some green onion. You could top it with whatever else you want. You could put a little more sriracha on it at this stage. But there you go. You are left with the most great-looking, delicious crispy rice with spicy tuna. You could use salmon if you want. You could use any other meat. You could use probably, just tartare if you wanted, like a meat. And there, it looks beautiful. I wish I was better with the rice, but I'll leave a little. I know chewing sounds people hate, but just so you could hear how crispy it was. Yeah, see, that's got some crunch to it. So until next time, let me know what I was doing wrong and tell me how you guys make it.